Spinning to one side, he reached out and grabbed the shaft, sending a jolt of pain through his palm. Langdon held on. The assassin seemed unfazed. They strained for a moment against one another, face to face. The assassin's breath fetid in Langdon's nostrils. The bar began to slip. The assassin was too strong. In a final act of desperation, Langdon stretched out his leg, dangerously off balance as he tried to ram his foot down on the assassin's injured toe. But the man was a professional and adjusted to protect his weakness. Langdon had just played his final card. And he knew he had lost the hand. The assassin's arms exploded upward, driving Langdon back against the railing. Langdon sensed nothing but empty space behind him as the railing hit just beneath his buttocks. The assassin held the bar crosswise and drove it into Langdon's chest. Langdon's back arched over the chasm. Ma salama, the assassin sneered. Goodbye. With a merciless glare, the assassin gave a final shove. Langdon's center of gravity shifted, and his feet swung up off the floor. With only one hope of survival, Langdon grabbed onto the railing as he went over. His left hand slipped, but his right hand held on. He ended up hanging upside down by his legs and one hand, straining to hold on. Looming over him, the assassin raised the bar overhead, preparing to bring it crashing down. As the bar began to accelerate, Langdon saw a vision. Perhaps it was the imminence of death or simply blind fear, but in that moment, he sensed a sudden aura surrounding the assassin. A glowing effulgence seemed to swell out of nothing behind him, like an incoming fireball. Halfway through his swing, the assassin dropped the bar and screamed in agony. The iron bar clattered past Langdon out into the night. The assassin spun away from him, and Langdon saw a blistering torch burn on the killer's back. Langdon pulled himself up to see Vittoria, eyes flaring, now facing the assassin. Vittoria waved a torch in front of her, the vengeance in her face resplendent in the flames. How she had escaped, Langdon did not know or care. He began scrambling back up over the banister. The battle would be short. The assassin was a deadly match. Screaming with rage, the killer lunged for her. She tried to dodge, but the man was on her, holding the torch and about to wrestle it away. Langdon did not wait. Leaping off the banister, Langdon jabbed his clenched fist into the blistered burn on the assassin's back. The scream seemed to echo all the way to the Vatican. The assassin froze a moment, his back arched in anguish. He let go of the torch, and Vittoria thrust it hard into his face. There was a hiss of flesh as his left eye sizzled. He screamed again, raising his hands to his face. Eye for an eye, Vittoria hissed. This time she swung the torch like a bat, and when it connected, the assassin stumbled back against the railing. Langdon and Vittoria went for him at the same instant, both heaving and pushing. The assassin's body sailed backward over the banister into the night. There was no scream. The only sound was the crack of his spine as he landed spread eagle on a pile of cannonballs far below. Langdon turned and stared at Vittoria in bewilderment. Slackened ropes hung off her midsection and shoulders. Her eyes blazed like an inferno. Houdini knew yoga. 109. Meanwhile, in St. Peter's Square, the wall of Swiss guards yelled orders and fanned outward, trying to push the crowds back to a safer distance. It was no use. The crowd was too dense and seemed far more interested in the Vatican's impending doom than in their own safety. The towering media screens in the square were now transmitting a live countdown of the antimatter canister, a direct feed from the Swiss Guard security monitor complements of the Camerlegno. Unfortunately, the image of the canister counting down was doing nothing to repel the crowds. The people in the square apparently looked at the tiny droplet of liquid suspended in the canister and decided it was not as menacing as they had thought. They could also see the countdown clock, now a little under 45 minutes until detonation. Plenty of time to stay and watch. Nonetheless, the Swiss guards unanimously agreed that the Camerlegno's bold decision to address the world with the truth and then provide the media with actual visuals of Illuminati treachery had been a savvy maneuver. The Illuminati had no doubt expected the Vatican to be their usual reticent selves in the face of adversity. Not tonight. Camerlegno Carlo Ventresca had proven himself a commanding foe. Inside the Sistine Chapel, Cardinal Mortati was getting restless.